sure moving forward what the board wants to do as far, because it's hard as an attorney to only see part of the picture.
Right.
Because, I can just get information that's presented to me, but then he was handling another part. So it may be advantageous to have a meeting with the lawyers just to make sure there's not a crossover of what you're looking to accomplish, and maybe paying more than you should to achieve that goal, and kind of what you're looking for.
Right.
Because does he come to these meetings? Is he ever down that road? Okay.
So you don't handle the liens and stuff?
I have handled. I don't do what I do is I file and get the judgment.
Yeah.
Okay? And most times the people work out that it doesn't get to the lien stage.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then somebody just doesn't show up. You get the judgment, you enroll it, you get the lien, and then Marion would take over with that. I do both. I do all of that. So I was kind of like literally handing the baton off in the middle of my lap. So.
Yeah, I don't.
Who does the liens?
But anyway, if that's the way they want it, I'm just fine. I just was bringing it up. At this point, it was.
Probably ought to change, because you do have too many hands working on the same pieces of paper, because the conveyances, the liens, placing the liens, reporting, we may have to report, in previous board said, report this to this one, and then report to, and then once it went into, and we're gonna sue this one, and Will would handle the lawsuits, basically, is the easiest way I can explain it, and he would handle placing the liens or putting whatever stuff at the courthouse. I thought it was not necessarily duplication, but he's correct, it's handing a baton off, it really doesn't need to be handed.
It's a left hand, right hand, and I may be thinking he's doing it, he may be thinking I'm doing it, and nobody's doing it.
Can we just address that?
So it's been actually, for us, we would prefer to deal with one, and it's been somewhat confusing dealing with more than one. Because not that we don't get along with whichever attorney you choose, we want to help you, but when it comes down to it, if the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, you have errors, more people involved in anything, the more chance of an error occurring.
Absolutely, I agree.
And
Like, this is what's been in place, and I really wasn't.
with the
familiar
number.
with the workings of it.
Right, with the number of real estate agent calls that we get on the property changeover in your homeowners association, I got over 90 emails last summer because of all the changes of different properties that were going back and forth. In that real estate boom market, it was crazy. So, and my employees were also seeing those kind of emails, but they would have liens placed. We didn't know whether to call Marion or Sims.
Right, now,
So-
we don't use a simplify this, is that
Right,
what?
yeah, so we definitely had difficulty with that, and that would make our job easier.
So we'll vote on that next month.
Not that y'all need to make my
So
job
we
easier.
don't
So what does that mean? That you would be getting
I
rid of
think
one of the
just put up a
attorneys?
motion
Or-
to do it.
to do
Whatever
it.
their decision is,
Can you
like I said-
handle the whole process?
Yeah.
Well, then I'd make a motion that
Yeah.
we let him handle the whole process and cut the rest of it out.
All in favor? Aye. Engaged?
Done.
You just gave yourself more work.
They can show up every quarter. There you go. What time
Well,
is it?
Marion's a good attorney, but like I said, my
It's too much
meetings are
confusion.
calling me for stuff, I've got some stuff he
So,
does.
usually you'll contact him with the matter?
I don't
No,
like
it's Marion, whoever that is, but he's not here.
He is a real estate attorney, that's what he does, he doesn't do representation of boards, he doesn't do litigation, he doesn't.
Okay.
So that's why he's done the liens in the past, cause that was his kind of specialty with the real estate, but.
This seems confusing and.
It was to me, and I was the attorney trying to handle some of it, and
Just
so I had to
seems like
call
room for
him to get certain stuff, and it just.
Yeah, that makes more sense, absolutely.
So,
So, where are we now? A welcoming committee, now, my understanding, when you said we were welcoming committee, you were doing that, weren't you, Sheila?
Linda was doing that.
Oh, I thought.
After Sheila was. She didn't used to do it, she helped me.
Here's the thing, what does it entail at this point? you. My understanding is you're not allowed to walk on people's property and open it, even knock on their door, is that correct?
What?
That's what somebody on the board said when they was on the board, maybe.
Nobody ever said that. A
No.
welcome packet is when someone new moves into a neighborhood,
Yeah,
that you contact, well, it was Andrew before, and he tells you who moved in, and then you send him everything. I handed over to Robert, so he had the book of everything and copies of everything.
the covenants,
And you just do, one of each, you put in an envelope and you address it and you send it.
one of each, the covenants, the
Covenants,
bylaws.
What was, and everything else that was in that thing that Sheila gave to me and I gave it to Robert.
Okay, yeah, 'cause
It was covenants, I don't think the
Important
bylaws
numbers,
were-
a welcome letter, and there was a bunch of different.
You still
things.
have like an existing.
I got bylaws and my.
It's all in, they have it, it's in
Yeah,
there.
and I-
Well, Robert has it, I don't know if you guys got it.
And I think you got
I
like
have
a
a bunch of stuff,
certificate
and I
or
have
something
not
like
anymore.
that, not anymore.
When we were short on money, he stopped.
Right, you stopped that
Yeah,
a
I
while
will
back.
have it, I'll have to look and see what I have.
Yeah,
I got mine.
Okay.
I got mine too.
Well,
Okay, so who wants to, who wants to, you want to show me? Who wants to get a photo?
Looking at me?
No. Why, you know, I got that stuff when I went to close it. So why did they have to send it out again? I got the covenants and the bylaws when I did close
yeah,
it.
yeah, you get a copy of that, but one
Yeah.
comes in a welcome packet also.
So why do we need,
In the welcome.
why does somebody need to take on that?
Yeah, I know, I don't know,
Cause you are, by law, I can't. Yeah.
I was
Do
saying,
you give a welcome package to the renters? Everybody.
All right, so
To
let
the
me.
renters?
changes, it goes to the person.
how do you know when you get a renter?
It goes to the homeowner of record.
Right.
No.
Well, wouldn't it be a good idea to give it to the renter? Let them see what the.
We don't know when rentals turn over. You have no way of knowing when rentals
They
turn
don't
over.
have a legal.
Homeowners are not legally obligated to inform us when there's a new renter.
So it's the homeowner's responsibility to give it to their renters.
It's not.
And they were, the covenants were online, but somehow they got erased.
Everything got erased last month, I don't know.
So the covenants and bylaws, is that correct, Will, should go under the website, both of them?
I would.
Because there are some renters that care about the neighborhood too, just because they rent some house, I mean, they shouldn't care about.
By posting it, it would prevent somebody from coming up and wanting to copy constantly, where you have copy calls.
Well, if they're on the
My
website.
neighbor,
They can access
was renting, he
it.
got HOA. And he wouldn't mow the yard, he was very politely, I told him, that, you know, we have HOA here, and, well, I didn't know that.
Van, I completely agree with you, but there's no way for us to know when a new renter comes in, because the homeowners aren't legally obligated to tell us.
But if you see somebody moving in.
Right,
Somebody moving in.
okay,
You
we're
know,
going to, architectural, all right, the retention ponds, now, I hope I said they were all gated, they are all gated, right? The only thing now is I spoke to, David with, what's it called?
Kitchen cutters.
And, he said that those retention ponds are gonna be done this month, they're all gonna be cleaned out. And he said he has to look by the end of the month, so at this point, we do need, an architectural committee, which will be the people, I guess that'll be riding around maybe, looking at the neighborhood and, you know, people who are paying.
Usually, the architectural committee handled, requests, people had questions, can I put up this fence, can I do this, can I do that? The president would forward those to the architectural committee, who would respond according to the covenants.
Right, okay, so does anybody?
So the homeowner would contact us through that contact us link. So we need to make sure that that is working on the website. Once they do that, then it goes to the architectural committee. And I know Scott was on it before we filed,
Yeah.
and, that's how it's been, that they would contact us.
Okay, so does that mean you'll be the
But you-
architectural committee again?
Maybe Scott and Freddie together could do it.
So we ride around neighborhood, might as well. How often are the retention ponds supposed I had a leak call
How
me
often
there
are the
about
retention ponds supposed to regulate?
That's something that I want to address too.
Well, that's what they said, is that David said it will be done this month.
No, they, I think they need to be done.
How many times a year?
Oh,
I was-
it's 3 times a year.
3 times a year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been here 2.5 years and it's never been cleaned.
Well,
Right.
that's what he told
Once,
us.
once we get someone, I agree that it needs to be done three or
Right,
quarterly.
right, he said 3 times a year, and, yeah, I don't know when the Senate passed.
They were not done by Cajun Cutters during the period when we discovered that the homeowner owned the retention pond. So at that point, it became their responsibility. We gave them Cajun Cutters information, but if they did not, make arrangements with Cajun Cutters, it wasn't done. Then, I think now, when I wasn't here, that the HOA is again doing the maintenance. And so before, it was, I guess.
But we had to get permission from all the homeowners,
Mhm.
and that was a process.
Right, but we finally got it.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
all
we
right.
have everything.
203, but we just call them different names, so, yeah, so that's not an issue, and as far as, the sidewalks, we're gonna deal with that, next month, as far as contacting people back there. I just saw the issue with the sidewalks this past week. I have no idea where the sidewalks ended and where they were supposed to be. So quite honestly, I've got to check. I think it's the city, but I'm not sure.
Are you
Joe
talking about
checked
the
on that.
sidewalks
That are missing.
that on Lawton
Yeah.
and Churchwood and,
She
okay,
has information on
when I was on the board,
Right.
sorry.
That's okay. Listen,
I
your
made phone-
information.
I made phone calls, I got a hold of the city. She said, let me get a hold of the planning department and another department, I'll get back to you. She called me back and she said, really surprised that the sidewalks are not there, but she goes, they did some digging. And she said, normally when the neighborhood is built, they put them in. And she said the subdivision chose not to have them put in on those 2 lots. So she said it's not required by the city. I said, but we, people in the neighborhood would like to have the sidewalks. She said it's gonna cost a lot of money. You've gotta go through the planning department, you've gotta get a surveyor, the city easement. And so I told her, I said, I'll get back to you after we have a board meeting and then.
So the reason the sidewalks were not put in during the rest of the development of the subdivision is because we did not know what the use of the lots would be. And so they chose not to put in sidewalks that might potentially need to be taken out again, depending on the use of the lots. So,
Will HOA be repairing their fences too, on the potential ponds?
When I went, I'll take a look. I mean, yeah, because I believe that is now the job of the HOA, the expense of the HOA. I went by and I saw the retention ponds for the first time, and I didn't notice that. I'm taking your word for it. I'll go by and see what you're talking about. Yeah, the little gets taken care of.
Yeah, when they were building the house, they brought the house.
I think we had a question over there. She had a question.
I have a question. How long does it take to get permission to put something up? I had to get a security system because apparently the people who lived in the house I just purchased decided to take the fence up, so I have no fence. And I have stuff back there.
Property.
And I've been doing this I've been sending letters since August and have not got response to put a fence up.
That's real property.
Yeah.
I was told that according to your laws, that I had to get permission to put a fence up. I have to get permission to put a shed up.
Well, depending on the type of fence.
I'm just putting a regular wooden fence up. I'm not
I
asking to put up
believe she
something.
has to get a permit.
They're gonna build a permit.
Yeah.
So I can just go ahead and get that done so I can get my fence put in.
Any fencer.
And a shed.
Architectural committee, good?
Okay. Because I was like,
6-foot wooden privacy fence.
that's fine, that's what I want, and I needed 2 gates, because they took the gates out, they took the fence on the back, and I've been having trouble with armadillos, they have torn my whole entire yard up. I have no grass whatsoever.
Usually, whoever you get to put your fence in will get that permit.
Okay.
Right.
You can ask them.
But-
And if I decided to do, well, not me doing it myself, but if my brothers come out and do it, I can just go personally and get a permit myself.
Yeah.
For the shed as well.
You need a permit for the shed.
Right.
Sheds have to be anchored, because
Okay.
they have to drive-throughs,
They'll tell you all that.
but your shed has to be
Yeah,
anchored.
they'll
Okay.
tell you all that. They'll give you a piece of paper with their land blocked out.
Okay.
Right.
At the place.
It will give you the easements,
And
make
yeah,
sure,
okay.
make sure you're within the, you're not inside the easement, because the inspectors will come and peek over your fence, and then you'll wind up in,
We went in the easement.
no, but he said you were, right.
Okay, alright, thank
So-
you.
But if it's 6-foot privacy fence, just do it.
Okay. Covenants and enforcement, okay, so that would be two that they will go right through. And then we have,
So I have a question about covenant enforcement, because Robert always said, like, Robert always said, you know, like, you can't walk up and slap a speaker on something in somebody's yard and this and that and everything. So where does that fall in there? You know, like, if it's HOA and part of their duty is to give someone a warning or something, you know, like your trash can's been sitting here for 3 days on your lot.
Trash cans, we can tape on trash cans, you cannot put anything on or in a mailbox. You have to mail out a yellow tag or red tag.
But you can, even if the trash
You can
can's
put
on
a
their
yellow
lot,
sticker on the
you
trash
can put it
can.
on there. So he was saying you can't walk on their lot and do anything.
No, it has to be in the street.
Oh, so if it's on their grass, you can't do it.
No, you can't walk onto somebody else's private property,
Has to be in the street,
legally.
on the sidewalk, in the street.
That's friendly.
okay,
I mean,
so now that,
Makes it hard to kind of enforce some of the covenants, so.
It does, we follow the law
to
too.
my knowledge, what, hasn't been to my knowledge, and of course, comes this month, again, I just got the key to, the post office box. So.
How much mail?
More than I want to see, probably.
I'm sure.
That's probably why all the letters are sitting for the fence, and then,
Yeah, it's been a lot.